is how Kanye West decided to wear a White Lives Matter thing. And I wanted to ask you guys what you think about it.
Personally, I don't think he's well. I'm sure you guys know, but he suffers from bipolar disease. But
Yeah, he
sorry,
talks about it once
disorder.
or twice, you know. he brings it up, and I feel like people kind of use that as a shield because they want to still appreciate his art, and they kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. And because of that benefit of the doubt, he wows out and does stuff like this.
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to continue to get the benefit of the doubt at this point. If you
Okay.
saw in recent news, like a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. Well,
Balenciaga pulled him,
yeah.
like they removed him from their partnership. But I think that in the beginning, he didn't take his meds because he felt like it stunted his creative
Juices, yeah.
abilities.
Right.
But I think, anyone who has any sort of disorder or disease, if they have some sort of medication to control it, to control it in some way, like obviously you should be taking it. You should be taking the responsible route. What he's doing right now is like a very prime example of just letting something, like he's just unhinged. Like he's doing things for reaction.
Mm.
We spoke about this too, where he has gone so far where he's like destroying his personal life. He might, who knows, like he might end up ruining his relationship with his kids. And it's like very sad to kind of watch someone who a lot of people used to look up to take this like very steep downward spiral, you know?
Mm.
But I feel like I think we disagreed last time. I feel like people are responsible of themselves to a degree, because I was actually listening to another podcast where the guy had a friend who also was bipolar.
Yeah.
And he said that and his friend told him like straight up, like, whenever I don't take my meds, I feel amazing. And he'll try and say the craziest things to just elicit a response from his friends, knowing that they're crazy, because he feels good. And that's the side of bipolarism that we're probably seeing from Kanye right now.
100%.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but that friend also knows like the responsible thing to do is to take your medicine or to take his medication. And if someone actively chooses not to take it, at the end of the day, that's their responsibility. And whatever occurs in that time where they're not taking it, they're responsible for it. So whatever the reaction is, good or bad, I feel like he's responsible for it, right? So whatever's going on right now,
he put himself in that position, and
yeah,
if you put yourself in that position, you have control over that thing, and that means that you can't get mad when you get the reaction that you deserve, right?
yeah, or that society believes you deserve.
But don't you think like the White Lives Matter thing was like a little bit funny? Because at the end of the day, he was taking the piss, right? Like he was trying to take a piss out of a movement that didn't actually do as much good as the perception was trying to be.
I think if he stopped there, it could be like seen as satire or comical, whatever. Like you're like, ha,
No,
very
obviously
funny,
he didn't,
Kanye.
right? There was two parts to the issue at hand.
Yeah, and then he kind of just kept going. Like he spoke about, like he kind of touched into like anti-Semitism at one point.
Yeah.
He touched on like George Floyd. He was saying, "Oh, he didn't die because the cop had his knee on his neck. He died because he took some kind of drug or something like that." Like he's just like
No, innit?
really,
Yeah.
yeah. Like he's just, I don't know. I don't know if I can really have any more sympathy. Like I'm not that hardcore of a fan of him anyway, so I'm kind of just.
Well, for me, it was like if he wore a White Lives Matter shirt, okay, that's one thing. But it's also who he had next to him that was really an issue. Because to actually speak on that George Floyd thing, the person who made the documentary saying that cop didn't have his neck on his back was Candace Owens, who was the other person wearing the White Lives Matter shirt. So it was more than just a shirt. If it was just a shirt, and then he later explained it like it was an ironic statement, or like maybe he was making a joke on something, sure. But then when he associates himself with certain people that make documentaries saying that someone who's obviously killed by a cop was not actually, and he was actually on drugs or blah, 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 making up this information, that's where the problem for me really relies. By the way, my laptop's about to die.
I was just gonna tell you, like, can you go plug it in?